Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing my 170th Mezco Toyz 112 Collective action figure review, this time being of Atticus Doom Necroverse Edition. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see some really amazing artwork of Atticus Doom with that really cool shadow-like Cthulhu image in the background. And if we turn the box around, we can see the Cthulhu version of Atticus with his standard skull version shadow in the background. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack this figure open and let him breathe. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at this new Necroverse Atticus Doom. Now this is one I was really stoked about when they announced him because the Atticus Doom figure was really cool and I still very much love it. But the colors and stuff didn't really work for me all that well. I love the accessories and he is a very cool character, but this one in my opinion absolutely tops the first release because I just think the colors work really well and it has a glow-in-the-dark feature. I mean, we have extra accessories. It's very, very cool. So you can see he does come in a standard black soft goods trench coat here that attracts dust like a freaking mofo. You can see all the white spots, but I love like the fur sleeves and the fur collar done in that really nice green, looking really good. We still got an eye on the glove here. That does glow in the dark as well. But the whole glow in the dark skull of that real cool Atticus Doom skull, I think that's such a cool looking look. And you got his brain exposed here with that little eyeball that still moves around if you want to do that. I still think that's very cool. Now you can unbutton this. There are little clasps where you can unbutton it like that and reveal he is rocking some really nice pants here. We got a belt with a silver buckle, some really nice shoes, but that really bright green vest that he's rocking too with a little green ascot around the neck. That is so cool looking, such a great looking piece. And you can take the hands off if you want to. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to pull the arms back, and then we're going to pull the coat off. And then let's go ahead and, in the meantime, let's go ahead and put these hands back on, shall we? Boom, get that one on right there. And then this one on right here too. This kind of stuff doing on camera can be really, really tricky. But the vest looks really good too. You can see he does come with a long sleeve black shirt. Really nice backing, very accurate to like an actual vest where they have the shiny part on the back, and so that looks really cool too. When you pop the head off, you can see that the neck piece is in a translucent green plastic, and also goes for the same thing for the forearms on the figure. If you roll up the sleeves, you'll see a nice, really cool translucent green plastic as well. I tried rolling up the legs here, but it's just everything else is just a pretty much a basic black buck, if I could actually get that out right there. That was a lot of B's right there. But again, the forearms and the neck are that translucent green, which just really adds to this whole necro thing of him. And I've just been having so much fun playing with him, honestly, a lot more than the first version. So now moving on to the accessories, this guy just comes with a ridiculous amount of stuff. We're going to start off with the interchangeable hands here. So we do got closed-fisted hands, we get different types of gripping hands, and then we have more other open palm hands and, you know, spell casting hands and things like that. All his force-wielding hands look really cool. We also do get that green hand that's actually really nice, and I'll show you what that's for later. Again, just really plays into the whole Necroverse with that green hand. I think it looks really cool. But we also do get 3 interchangeable hats, which I think is really cool. A fedora, a top hat, and that really cool turban we've seen with the first release. So now here's going to be my problem. I'm not really sure which hat to display him with because I kind of dig all of them. So here he is with the fedora. I think it looks really cool, and that is actually, oh no, that's not backwards. Just put it on a little better, and you can actually sit there like that. So that looks really cool too. You know, I really dig that look. Just like this, maybe even without the jacket and just the vest like that looks really good. Or if you want to rock that turban, again, like the first figure with that really cool like gem or medallion, you know, with a little effect piece, looks so good too. Man, I love the way this looks. This is such a sweet looking figure. Or what I might end up doing, probably most likely gonna go with the top hat like that. I just think it looks so good. And the cool thing with this is he actually comes with a monocle that actually has an eyeball in it, and you can actually plug that into the eye socket like that. And how freaking dope does that look, man? Oh my god, Mezco killed it with this one. Yeah, he just looks so awesome. So for me, it might be the top hat when I display him on my shelf. He also, of course, does come with a standard Mezco circular base stand and the clear articulated arm, and honestly, I love the artwork used on the box. It's the same one that's being used here on the base, and I think it just looks incredible, and very interesting that they decided to use the more Cthulhu version for that artwork. So next up, he also does come with those same body parts that we saw again with the previous release, where he kind of like shapeshift his body into different things. So you got the different like tentacles. The straight out one can be, with a bendy wire, so you can pose that around if you want to. Also got the little curly one that's already prefixed like that, or you got that almost like lobster claw, crab claw kind of thing, or you got the hand with the little snakes. It looks really cool too. But for some reason, I gravitate towards the little claw version. I don't know what it is. I have the claw on my first release just because I think it's just really cool looking, and the actual claw does hinge right there, so I think that's a really fun feature. Now, Atticus here doesn't really use a ton of weapons, as he's more of a magic user and spellcaster and things like that. But we do get his really gnarly cane done in that glow-in-the-dark plastic with all the runes on there, just looking really cool. This time we also do get a sword with an effect piece, which is really nice. And then that really awesome looking book done in those colors just looks really good. So this is the same sword that I believe we've seen with Hellboy. With one of the Hellboy figures. I believe it was the PX version. But again, this is done in all that green plastic, which looks very cool. And you could just take this effect piece and slide it over that right there. Now, keep in mind, this is a really heavy piece, the effect piece. So it might loosen up the grip a little bit. It might not hold it all that well because his hands aren't necessarily meant for this. But, I mean, you can get it in some decent poses. But I do recommend not holding that on the shelf for long. But then this book, dude, this book is killer looking. Again, we've seen this book before, but this time it's done in completely different colors. You got the little symbols on there looking awesome. The best thing about this, though, you can actually open it up, and there are actual pages with actual artwork on there. I mean, that is amazing, man. Great detail by Mezco. Again, the accessories with stuff like this is just really where they shine. Now, in my opinion, this is where we're really going to see Atticus here really step up his game with all the like magic effect pieces that he comes with. So first of all, we do come with all these different articulated stands and holders and things like that. That's going to be used for all the different effect pieces that we do get. And we've seen some of these effect pieces before with the previous Atticus, again, just done in different colors, especially with that really nice, bright, vibrant green. I just love the greens used on this thing. Same thing with that like teleportation effect. You got the eye effects, you got the smoke effects. I mean, it's pretty crazy to see all the things that he does come with. But for me specifically, I love these eye effects because these do just plug in to the eye sockets like that. And you can plug this one in over here like so. Like that. And then what I like to do, I like to add the turban for this one because it adds a little more effects right there on the head like that. And how freaking dope does that look, man? Oh my god. Mezco, you guys are freaking geniuses, dude. So I love that so much. Or things like this is where that green hand comes in. It plugs into this effect, so it can kind of like plug into the hand, and this could be like his necromancing hand where he raises the dead and controls the dead, or whatever he does with that. So I think that's very, very cool. We also do, again, get these little plugins, little attachments that plug into effect pieces like that, and these can just like plug into around the wrists or the forearms. And you can pose him around like he's actually casting those spells with all these runes and stuff like that. It's so freaking dope, man. But again, that teleportation hand is just crazy looking. How you can actually plug this onto the wrist like that, because there is just a peg hole on there. And it can be a little tricky sometimes. Again, doing this stuff on camera can be kind of hard. And then you could take that. And then what I'll do here, I'll take the other piece and I'll attach the claw here, so you could plug that. I love how there's a little piece of fabric there, so it actually looks like his actual like shirt is coming out of the little portal. I think that's so cool. So you can plug that in like so, and then we'll get a little attachment here, Let's see, we'll take one of those stands here with a little base. It has a little base that holds it up, and then we can plug this in, excuse me, like that. So it's like honestly like a little puzzle, and then you can take that, plug that into there like that, and then you can stand it to where it looks like he's teleporting his hand into somewhere else, and he's revealing his claw hand, and he can grab dudes from way far away or whatever you want to do. Again, it's crazy to see the engineering and the design that Mezco has really done to really do something special with this guy. Or you could use some of these other effect pieces like here. So we got the smoke effect going around the head. That looks really good too. I kind of wish that was done in a little bit of a green smoke effect, but it's probably a little bit of an overkill. But you also got those really cool rune effects that you could pop over the forearm and wrist there that we saw with Constantine recently. So again, the options with this guy are so freaking endless. It kind of makes me regret not buying multiples of this guy. And then some of the last accessories that we do get here. He does come with an interchangeable head, so we're going to go ahead and pop that off, and then we're going to take on that really sweet looking Cthulhu head, which I freaking loved on the first version. And then this glow-in-the-dark version just looks so gnarly, man. Oh my god, I love that so much. And my lights are pretty much probably washing that out, so I'm going to darken that up as much as I can. But you could really just see how that looks. I love that thing so much. And then you can even get him like spellcasting with the spellcasting hand like that. And then you could bring in this really awesome like vacuum formed, almost like Cthulhu demon monster thing that he like summons. I don't know if that's his master or what, but he can make it seem like he's summoning that thing, which just looks crazy good. This is an entirely new piece that we're getting with this figure. It is vacuum formed, just hollowed on the inside. But you can see how awesome the dry brushing is and all the different eyes and things like that. So that really just sets this guy off so much. And again, so many options, man. Mezco is amazing with this kind of stuff. And this is one of the things where I understand why a lot of people double up and triple up on figures, because of so many options that you just want to have multiple displays of the same character. And I freaking love that. Now, a great thing about this particular figure is that, of course, with all this bright green stuff, he does glow in the dark, which is great. Now, not everything glows, but things like that hand and his skull head glow in the dark beautifully. Same thing with the Cthulhu head. And then all those different accessories you saw, with like the sword, the different tentacles, some of the effect pieces. All those things glow beautifully in the dark. So if you light blast those things, they will look incredible, man. So again, I'm beginning to think, yeah, I think this guy might just be a lot better than the first version. Okay, so now let's run down the articulation. I'm going to do this without his coat because the coat will hinder things because it's a pretty bulky fabric. So head and neck are on ball pegs, so that rolls around very nicely. It does turn left and right, up that far, down about that much, does pivot side to side. Arms can go all the way up, down, up and out. No butterfly joint in there. We do get double jointed elbows like so, rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. Double ball peg in the midsection that rolls around very nice, does turn left and right a bit, crunches back and forth a decent amount, and pivots side to side. Hip joints that kick up and forward that far, which is pretty good. Back about that much, which is pretty nice. Splits out about that far, actually even more if you want to push that fabric, so that works out really good. Rotation of the upper thigh, double jointed knees where he can almost kick himself in his own butt, and then the ankles are on ball pegs at that boot there, so you can rotate up and down a decent amount in a pretty decent ankle rocker considering how high those boots actually are. So overall, I'm just so impressed. Again, the variants aren't for everybody, and again, they're mostly just going to be color swaps, and sometimes those variants that Mezco puts out are a lot better than the original releases. Sometimes they're not, but in this case, this is one of those ones that, again, for me, maybe your opinion varies, but this one is far superior to the original release. I love him so much, and he is just a very, very fun toy. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the first release of Atticus Doom. And for even more comparison, Here he is standing next to a couple other Mezco 112 collective figures, being the Black Skull's Deathbrokers and Constantine. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the new Atticus Doom. Now overall, this figure is freaking mind-blowing to me. Now the original Atticus Doom I did enjoy, but it didn't hit something in me that made me truly want to love it. I'm not sure what it was, but something about this version, man, that crazy neon dayglow green against the black just pops to me. I love all the different options that we're getting, added things like the sword with the fire effect, all those different interchangeable parts that glow in the dark, all the crazy looking spell effect pieces, again, done in that green color, just works for me. The fact that we get interchangeable hats is really cool. I love the new coat. The articulation works very well. We get that giant Cthulhu thing, whatever the heck that is. Oh my god, I love this version so much more. Yes, the original Atticus Doom is still cool, but damn, this one is way better in my opinion. But I'm super glad to have both versions, and I think they will both look great in your collection. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.